So we called it quits last May. And around that time, other things were kind of happening. You know, my PhD research was in a good place. I was moving on with that. And my advisor approached me and he said, "Hey, look, there's this program we want to do. It's called the I-Corps program from the NSF, the National Science Foundation. And what it should teach us how to do is commercialize technologies out of our lab and to bring it to the next step." And so, he said, "Do you want to do this with me?" And I was like, "Sure, why not? I have no company now, so I might as well try." So he and I together, and Brad Martin, who's in tech transfer right there, we did this program called I-Corps. And what it's all about is developing a business model canvas saying, graduate students or people in the labs, they don't know how to commercialize the technology. And so their concept or their program was to basically get people out, talk to customers, and figure that out. And, we took a regenerative medicine technology that I kind of knew in the back of my head would never get commercialized into the program. And what we found is that, one, there's a pretty big market need because it made us go out and talk to orthopedic surgeons about the research. So I did bone tissue engineering, and we basically talked to them about it, and they said, "There's a great idea, we want it." But then after going through each step of this business model canvas, which is a high priority now in things at campus, it kind of made it realize, well, it's great, people want it, but to commercialize regenerative medicine technology is pretty difficult because the patent landscape is pretty convoluted, and understanding where we're actually going to get funding, because something like this would take up to $300 million, is pretty difficult. So, I got shot down again. I think the one thing that I took away from the I-Corps program, though, is that there is a need, and the way to translate these technologies, at least in the beginning, is to have a physician kind of pick it up, a surgeon, and put it into a person, into a small scale. So that became very interesting to me, and I kind of looked to that as the model, in that you build something in the lab, you get a physician to pick it up, try it out in a few patients, and then you go out and try to commercialize and get around the marketplace and across the country. So the I-Corps program was great because it showed me that I basically am not going to commercialize any technology that I'm doing in the lab anytime soon. So then around that same time too, I decided to apply to the Frankel Commercialization Fund, which is an angel fund in the Ross School of Business. Basically, we we serve to invest up to $100,000 in a startup company from the community. So if any of you guys have startup ideas, feel free, and please do submit your business plan to the fund next fall. So basically, this whole experience was very interesting to me in that I had an opportunity to sit on the other side of the table and look at deals and understand, how to evaluate what's going to be successful. And so, you look at the market, you look at technology, but you also look at the people. And I think that's, to me, what struck out to be the most important lesson, in that if you're going to invest in someone, you have to invest in that person, and you have to really believe that they're going to be successful. And the advisor of the fund, Tom Porter, who's right here, he has been a great advisor and a great mentor, and I just want to say a big thank you to him. And my whole team on the Frankel Fund, the healthcare team, Chris, Seth, Sam, it's very interesting to be an engineer and go down and talk to the MBAs and to work with the MBAs, because we all have different perspectives, and it's really funny for them, well, for me to be down there and just say, "No, this technology will never work, it's stupid," and while they're looking at the numbers and thinking it's going to be great, it's just interesting to see the dichotomy there. So one thing that became very interesting to me in the Frankel Fund, in I-Corps, we worked with the business model canvas, and I thought it was the silliest thing in the world. And then I came back in the fall to start the Frankel Fund again, and it was like the number one thing that we wanted every company to either bring to us or for us to do to evaluate them. And so it's interesting to see how these things kind of intertwine and what the value is of everything that I did each step of the way. So, that's basically where I'm at right now. I'm still working with the Frankel Fund. We're looking to invest into a company soon, so hopefully we'll get that out. I don't want to talk about the details yet, but hopefully there'll be a press release if it does go down.